Oh, whoops. Yep, I need to change the camera. Just give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. I should be camera 2, not camera 2. Hang on, just trying to get me on. Ah, there we are. Okay, finally we are on. Oops.
Hey.
Alright, I think we're all good right here. So, right. Let's get this started, everybody. Oops, let's just swap over to the screen right now. So, hello everybody, this is CVGS. I'm the captain here and I'm with Dempster.
Hi.
Hi, Rin. Good to see you.
Hi, Rin.
Hello.
Okay, sup.
Sup. Okay, so welcome to our discussion stream, where we usually do a lot of talking, especially in terms of latest news, and also can throw in some other topics as well. Especially since we didn't get much news from the Tuesday's live stream, did we, Dems? Although it was pretty big.
Yeah, it was pretty big, but the bigger news will be next week. But for this week, we got something that I think we were kind of looking forward to and not expecting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, like brawler. If I had the way I might actually recorded the video there, that's what I'll be doing basically. So, if you guys haven't checked out, we did a quick cap. We released a quick cap last night, of course. Last night for our time. And so, the quick caps is actually a really good way for you guys to catch up with whatever the news is in. And it's kind of like a good prelude to what we will be talking about into the discussion stream. So, hopefully you guys do catch that. And yeah, so that you can have an idea of what we're talking about. But nevertheless, we will go through all of the information that we have gotten from last week. So let's jump straight into it right now. And of course, we do have news from the V-Clan collection, which we'll talk about as well, which is for Grand Blue today. And yeah, let's just get things started right now. So, as mentioned, hi Cap Dempster, I play 2 Masters. Good to know, Electric. So, yeah, so we start with Series Challenger Clarissa. The grade 0 is Dignified Will Clarissa. So, it's a standard starter, but we won't go through that. But the reason why I bring it up is because when this unit is placed on the Vanguard Circle by riding over Dignified Will Clarissa, so you have to play the specific grade 0 for this. There's no trolling here. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 1 or less cards with Earnest Collect from among them, reveal it, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. And then put no, sorry, not shuffle your deck, shuffle the rest of the cards, and then you put them to the bottom of the deck. This one was confusing for a while when I read it out, when I tried to read it out, but then after a while I realized what was the process here over here. So, and of course during because you're supposed to shuffle you pick the Earnest Collect among them, add it to your hand, and then you shuffle the rest of the remaining cards from the top 7, and then you send it to the bottom of the deck.
Yeah.
So think Amaterasu, right? But then think think Tsukiyomi, right? But instead of sending them in the exact same order, you have to shuffle them first before you send them back. Yep. So does this mean that the Earnest Collect girls are Knuckle Busters descendants or something? I don't know. I mean, it's fun to speculate, really. So, and we did a lot of fun speculating, didn't we, about how we got Clarissa over here in Brawlers.
Yeah, so many different origin theories came to be.
We'll probably elaborate more as we go along also, because I think that's something that's worth talking about. So if anything, just to keep the mood light, so you could say. Right, so then we move on to the grade 2, which is Accurate Interval Clarissa. Now, when this unit is placed on the Vanguard Circle by riding over Series Challenger Clarissa, by paying Soul Blast 1, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card with a grade 2 or less card with Earnest Collect in this card name from among them, reveal it, add it to your hand, shuffle the rest, and send to the bottom of the deck. So. And during your turn, I think we also forgot to mention for the grade 1 as well. During your turn, if you have no Regas, this unit gets plus 5k power. Now, this is interesting to note because that means that you want to play an empty field in the early game as you ride up to the grade 3. And it makes sense that be the case because the grade 3 is Earnest Collect Clarissa. And her skill is when this unit is placed on the Vanguard Circle by riding Accurate Interval Clarissa, by paying Counterblast 1, search your deck for up to 1, aiming to be the strongest idol, which is an order card, reveal it, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. And then after that, auto on the Vanguard Circle. When this unit's attack hits, draw a card. Then choose one of your rear guards. With Earnest Collect in this card name, it gets plus 5k power until the end of the turn. Now, now the reason why that is the case is because as you read over here, when this unit attacks, you want to have the Earnest Collect there. So having the empty field already was a clear sign that that means you probably be rushing out on grade 3, and this is one of the signs that says that you probably want to rush out on grade 3. But the real answer, or rather the true ending to this whole shenanigans for Clarissa is the order card, which is aiming to be the strongest idol. Play this if you have 5 or more different units. Take note, different units with earners collect in their card name, so this includes the Vanguard as well. Until the end of this turn, all of your units with earners collect in their card names get plus 5k power. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, choose one of your earners collect correct leader, Clarissa, and it gets the continuous skill on the Vanguard circle. When this unit would attack, choose 3 of your opponent's Vanguard or Regard circles, and this unit battles all of your opponent's units in the chosen circles until the end of the turn. So yeah, so the idea is that because you already have one on play, and then you haven't called out in the initial turns because of the benefits that you get from Clarissa, from the 2 Clarissas over here. You'll be throwing out at least 4 earnest collects, and after that you playing your order card in order to deal with your opponent's potential field. Something you probably want to get rid of something nasty as well, because of the fact that you can choose any of your opponent's Vanguard or Regard circles. Meaning you can choose 3 Regard circles and you can just wipe them out if they choose not to block.
Yep.
What do you think, Nems?
Okay, to be honest, when I first saw the grade 1 and grade 2, I was like, okay, this is gonna play an empty field thingy. Like how it's gonna be. Yeah. Could probably be like, I don't know, after attack once, then this counter blast 1, drop 2, restand, and then attack again, things like that. But the grade 3 Clarissa was the one that threw me off guard by huge tangent. Because what the grade 1 and 2 basically does is to conserve your hand size either for guarding or for when you ride to the grade 3 Clarissa and you just bomb everything on the table.
Yep.
And once you bomb everything on the table, and during the turn that you ride to Clarissa, you're already guaranteed the order card already. That means when your field is set up correctly, on that turn, it's gonna be a huge burst turn, and you're gonna draw a lot, and your hand size is pretty much maintained at a high number. So during your opponent's turn, when they attack, you have enough to guard with. And I think this is a very interesting mechanic, so to speak, for at least the idols, for Lyrical Monasterio. Because there isn't any, I don't think there is any kind of other game, other mechanics that's very similar to this. Except for Brawler, of course.
Yeah, of course, Brawler. A lot of people, I like the fact that the Japanese immediately knew and called it Brawlers, but the English community is like Dragonoids Kaiser Rebellion. I'm like, did you even forget about your Legion era, bro? Because seriously, this is more of a Brawler skill than it is a Kaiser Rebellion. Because Kaiser Rebellion, right, is more of an attack the entire front row thing, but they never had the opportunity to choose units in the back row. And hell, only until recently, Dragonoid Overlord is also attack the front row. The only reason why you can attack the back row is because if you play the order card that says, all your units can attack the back row units. If they so chooses. So this is one of those things, right, whereby you can choose you choose your opponent's 3 Regard circles, and all 3 of them could be the back row if you want to get rid of something pesky at the back. Like say if it's Bastion, right, you can choose maybe the Vanguard, then maybe get rid of 2 like Dark Stained Dragons, or get rid of 2 Grade 3s back there, just to limit the amount, or rather force him to call out more Grade 3s in order to supplement getting more power for like Bastion. Think of it this way: you can also take out the back row for like a Violence Bruise as well with this one card. It's only one shot, but of course you have 3 more in the deck, which you're gonna have to fish out manually, of course. But the fact is, right, because you can play 4 copies of any card, so you are guaranteed 1 thanks to Clarissa's ride up. But then you have to fish for the rest of them, and something like this is super powerful, right? That you want to have a lot more copies of this in play, so that you can play it down, and it's cost free. All you need to have is just a 5. All you need to have is actually just the 5 different earnest corrects names. So yeah, just playing this down, right? Your opponent fighting against Clarissa will have to be very, very weary. Very, very weary.
Yes. And this is not all. This is just the right line. You can imagine what kind of support this particular right line will get. We've seen a few already, but I'm pretty sure there are way more out there that helps even more for this gameplay.
Indeed, so we can look at some of the other earnest collects that were released before and afterwards, like earnest collect member Evelyn. So when you choose space on the Regard circle from hand, if your Vanguard is Clarissa, by paying counter +1, search your deck for up to 1 grade 2 or lower Earnest Collect card, reveal it, and you have no regards of the same name as that card, call it to empty regards circle, shuffle your deck. So units like her can actually allow you to reinforce from the deck, as long as you play her from the hand, of course. Then you got others like Catherine. When the attack of your Earnest Collect leader Clarissa on Vanguard hits, in this case you got 3 chances for it to hit. So then by paying cost counter +1, discard 1 card from hand to stand this unit. So she can be your 4th attack. As long as you have a Clarissa as long as you have your Vanguard Clarissa actually hit, which is a good shot, especially if you use the order card, of course. And of course, the other one is Enthusiastic Lunch Break Chantel. It's not an Earnest Collect, but something a bit more generic. By paying counter +1, act once per turn, choose one of your Vanguards and gets +5k power at the end of the turn. So you can have Clarissa actually go from 18 right to 23 and potentially 33 if you Persona right as well.
Yeah. Correct.
Indeed, also. And some of the ones that are released after the fact. So what do we have here? Oh, actually no, they're not Earnest Collects per se. There's something more like filler cards that you can actually put in. So -1, which is Steady Steps Pecori. Continues on the regard circle during your turn. If you have an Earnest Collect unit, this unit gets plus power plus 2k. It's a common, so it's more for budget builds. Really, it's a 10k booster. In many ways, you do only need 5, so maybe you can actually have her like behind the Vanguard and that be a 10k booster. So she can be 23, then maybe 28, or even 33 or 43, depending on many situations. Can you imagine 43k attacking your whole entire attacking like 3 units? I know people are already thinking of like, because Lyrical Monasterio, right, allows you to actually has cards that allow you to play multiple orders in additional orders in the same turn. So like people are thinking of like playing cards attacking cards in that, and then later just basically playing two of these order cards so that you can hit the entire field. Because this is not like once per turn.
Yeah, it is not once per turn.
So your Vanguard will basically get 2 skills that say the exact same thing. So you can choose 3, and after that you can choose another 3 because the 2 skills proc at once.
Then what? You draw 6. Woo!
Yeah, if all hits so then you draw 6 so of course you deck out also.
But actually, right, when I think about this, I give it a bit more thought, and I realized that you can actually still play draw triggers in this deck. On that one chance, or on that one occasion where you do not get the cards you need, or you're not drawing enough for some reason, draw triggers would still help, especially during your opponent's turn as well. If you damage check a draw trigger, hey, all the better for you. You might just get that second order card.
Exactly. I wouldn't rule out this deck as one of those decks whereby you shouldn't play draw triggers. You should continue to play draw triggers because again, the most important card here, which is the order card, right, still needs to be fished out some way somehow, and you can't rely on your first. You can't really rely on being able to get it every time you hit one of the 3 from the skill. So so it's a lot of considerations, and you gotta also think about the worst situation as well when you build something like this. So draw triggers, I'd say probably only 4, maybe 3 down if you are feeling
at least will be 3
deck outish. So
at least will be 3.
Correct. Then
I think you can play 2 of the PGs. Was it a draw PG?
2 of the PGs.
Forgot already.
No. Clarissa has her own PG. Or rather, all of the races have their own PGs, and they're all the same rare PGs that we got in Overdress. So if you have 2 or more, you must discard 1.
Oh, right. Yeah, there were no draw PGs for this one.
No, Overdress doesn't have draw PGs. But
okay.
But also imagine, think about playing something like this in Premium. Think about playing this in Premium. So like if you're looking for your order cards, right, then probably your strikes will probably be those strikes that allow you to actually gain additional draws. So it's been a while since I've actually seen it's been a while since I've actually seen Bermuda Triangle strikes. So let's take a look and see what's possible out of it. So, certainly the playstyle don't match in Bermuda Triangle at all, because this is technically Narukami's Brawlers basically that came into Lyrical Monasterio.
Yeah.
But so let's see what kind of implications or what kind of funny things that we can come up with also for Bermuda Triangles. But as I mentioned, you probably want to look for ones that actually gives like a lot of, like, not say a lot of draw, but something that can help with draw. So maybe something like Loris.
Loris would help, yes. No, not actually no.
If all units are in harmony, so which not Loris.
Not Loris, because Loris focuses too much on harmony already. You can't really play a harmony, Loris in a non-harmony deck.
And I doubt Chocho also would be helpful as well, because Chocho is mainly for Chocho. Chocho for Chocho.
Chocho for Chocho, yes.
Supremely like
Oh, I think you can play Olivia.
Yes, Olivia is actually one good choice actually.
But that'll mean, right? That'll mean that'll depend on how many Ernest correct different kinds of cards there will be.
You have to
because
play,
you're gonna
you have to play.
you gotta play one copy only. You can only play one copy of each and everything.
Yeah, actually you're right.
I mean the whole so ultimately you'll still have to play according to Olivia's playstyle, but it depends, because if you're only playing the Strike Olivia, you can still play her with this with the entire Ernest correct decks, because you can always choose not to call any duplicates out. So that's still okay. But if you are planning to build like something that's exclusively for Olivia, right, wherein every single card in there is different, like the one I did, then Clarissa will be a good addition to it, because her order card, her order card and the Great Tree itself actually does help this interesting gimmick, I'd say.
Reading the skill, right, this for the Strike Olivia, right, this actually might be quite helpful for the Ernest Correct, because Ernest Correct, right, it does require you, right, to have 5 different Ernest Correct names on the field. And the skill here for Olivia says, right, when you say attacks a Vanguard, right, if the number of face-up cards in your G-zone is 1 or more, so you may pay the cost, which is Counterblast 1 and
flip 1 only.
Her, so if you do, choose up to 5 of your regards. If all of the chosen names have different card, all the chosen units have different card names, return all of those units to your hand. And if 3 or more units were returned, choose up to 2 cards in your hand, call them in separate regard circles in different rows, and this unit gets +1 critical until the end of that battle. So you can actually tag this in. You actually can tag this card in, and as long as you G Guardian or find a way to actually get find a first strike, basically, right, you might be able to go straight to Olivia and make use of Clarissa's own technicalities to actually, to actually support Olivia, which is quite nice to see actually.
You can actually hit 6 times with this deck, with this kind of setup. Assuming your heart is Clarissa, of course.
Yeah, of course also. Just popping out some of the others that I know would be helpful. Definitely not the prisms, definitely not that. So we're looking at all of the other cards that's not tied to any sort of namesake that we know of.
Yes.
So Olivia will be one. You can also play Final Priscilla if you're looking for the GB8, but
that's in the late game.
Yeah, that's super in the late game also, which I doubt you'll be striding anyway, because of the fact that you probably will have your order cards by then and you want to kind of punch a foe right there. So choose a card with the same card name as its face up. Choose 2 of your regards or harmony, so this doesn't help. Shizuku, I think she's much more recent cards. Oh, this one is play off of Shizuku, so she's not a good option. Let's see, Frederica, Mermaid, so not helpful. Angie. Strike Angie, basically.
Strike performance Angie. Yes.
Yeah. Choose any number, Counterblast 2 and flip a G unit face up. Choose any number of your any of players' cards in any circle other than Vanguard circle. Return them to hand. This unit gets +5k for each at the end of the turn for each card return.
Angie would help, but if you're assuming you're going on a turn where you're already attacking your opponent's entire field anyway, it wouldn't make sense to choose their circles actually.
Actually, no,
you'll want to keep their circles on. Yeah, but if you bounce like your own units, there is no way to call them back. Just take note. Angie doesn't allow you to call back.
Yeah, Angie doesn't allow you to call back. Correct.
Yeah, which means, right, it's the whole Clarissa gameplay will be kind of moot already.
Not necessarily. It also helps rescue some of the Ernest Collect cards that you have in your hand. For guarding,
it does.
And also for that. So it also can be a bit ballsy as well, because you can call down your triggers for additional power as well.
Yeah, but that depends on the situation. I think under the worst situation, you will not want to play NG anyway.
Okay lah, we put her in the back burner, so maybe not the case.
Okay, she's there to fill up space lah, basically.
Indeed. When this unit is in harmony and attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to one of your other units in harmony. Return it to your hand. So alright, so Lucia not really much of a help. This one is Elprina. So +1 bounce to very basic.
Yeah, so +1 bounce to.
Yeah. Choose up to 2 regards, return them to your hand for Amoris. Yeah, actually there's not a lot of strike options as well. So you will be going with Olivia. But of course your strikes shouldn't be the big thing over here, because technically speaking you'll be using them just to stall for time while you wait to get your order card in premium.
Yes. Right.
So the thing I've just noticed about most of these strikes for Bermuda Triangle is that they don't really support some of the other outlandish capabilities, is there?
Yeah, they don't. They mostly support Loris.
Yeah, they mostly are
those that are not so niche at least.
Yeah, those that are not so niche support Loris, and if they are niche, right, they only mainly go to the other ones as well. Mainly go to the other ones like Chocho, like Prism, like like Duo as well. So yeah. But I like to think that you can really like do quite a lot of damage with Clarissa here, not just in Overdress but also in Premium as well. I think somebody just needs to figure something out. So maybe I'll put that as a challenge to Brendan. ask him to make a Premium Clarissa deck.
Yeah, knowing Brendan, he will definitely put it off.
Yeah, which I might put the challenge to him, and if he decides to do it, he might do it. On his Friday streams, which if you guys are not aware of, Brendan actually is streaming for CVGS here on Fridays and Saturdays, and Friday will be on CFA, and Saturday will actually be for Battle Spirit. So if you guys want to tune in and see some more card gaming action, right, it's on CFA, and if you want to see more Battle Spirits action as well, 100% you can check out Brendan on Fridays and Saturdays in the nighttime, so you guys can check him out, and then you can also chat Vanguard with him as well. So I'm sure if me, Dems, and Leon, there's more than us that can really talk Vanguard, and we have Brendan has his own time slot right now, so he's another person you can actually go to for that. So right, so let's put this out of the way and go travel to the deep dark sea, because we got Granblue reviews for Weekend Collection. So we start with the first one, which is Cicerone Banshee. For Granblue, this is a classic card and very useful back in the day. Do you remember them?
Yep.
Because you did play.
Call from the drop zone, so +1, draw 1.
Well, this one is when this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle, search your deck for up to 1 card, discard it, and then shuffle your deck. So you can so you now have a manual choice of who you want to send to the drop zone from there. And as we read on, you will see what else what kind of cards you want to put in the drop zone. So its other skills auto on the Vanguard circle. End of the battle that this unit attacked or boosted, you may discard the top 2 cards of your deck. If one or more triggers were discarded this way, by retiring this unit, you get to draw a card. So if you lose a trigger to the mill, you retire her, and then after that you can get 1 draw. Which is kind of in line with her original skill, somehow.
Only for the drawing, I guess. And retiring her. True. Oh, not really retiring her. I think she was called from the drop zone, then you draw 1.
Yeah. Called from the drop zone, you draw 1. So yeah.
Yeah, this is like sort of a step up, and considering her rarity now also, it's
her rarity is R. So, but then again, all the new cards that's in Weekend Collection, right, is all R. So.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So not to worry on that. So, right, then we got the grade. Then we got the grade 2. The old Legion for Granblue. This is Pirate Belle Pinot Blanc. So Pinot Blanc, when your young pirate noble Pinot Noir on the Vanguard circle attacks by paying counterblast 1 and retiring 1 of your rearguards, draw a card and call this unit to a front row rearguard circle. So you have a 4th attacker through here. And then after that, its continuous skill is this unit cannot be attacked, and this unit gets plus 5k shield for every 3 trigger units in your drop zone. So knowing that Granblue is gonna mill their triggers some way somehow, so the triggers their drop zone is gonna be full of triggers, they started to take advantage of that mechanic. And the fact that you can't attack Pinot Noir, which means you have to use skill shenanigans to get rid of it. But the fact is, it gets a lot of shield in the Regard or Guardian Circle, so making this card ideal in the hand, but also on the field, so that you can actually intercept. And you also will be able to get the get additional shield power for every 3 triggers in the drop zone.
Yeah, but not power, no, do take note.
Sorry, shield.
This is more for yeah, but I mean as in like, do take note that this one only gains shield, not power. So she's only very helpful when you're guarding with her.
Yes.
You'll want to anyway because of her skill in the drop zone.
Yep, correct, exactly. So, and you probably want to set it up by using Seasrolly Banshee to actually, when you ride her, then you actually send a Pinot Noir there, so you can start the setup from there. And the setup is not complete without the Great Tree, is it? Because we got the Young Pirate Noble Pinot Noir. So this drink, this drink, I don't know how it tastes like because I don't drink alcohol. So, continues on the Vanguard Circle. During your turn, all of your units in the front row gets plus 5k power for every 3 trigger units in your drop zone. So potentially plus 25k if you happen to have 15 in there.
Yep.
Well, of course you lose all guarding power also, but then you do have this. This one also gets plus 25k shield. That's actually a big number, actually, now that I think about it.
But with the way V series is ramping up power so much, 25k is like there but not really there.
No, it takes a long time for you to even get there, because remember you have to get at least 15 triggers in order to get 25k. So even any number smaller than that, right, is a little not here, not there, but 25k is actually quite a lot. Supremely a lot, and high alert dangerous. So then of course the other skill for Pinot Noir is Auto Vanguard Circle once per turn. When your Parabel Pinot Black is placed on the Vanguard Circle during your turn, in this case by its own skill potentially, by paying Soul Blast 1, discard the top 2 cards of your deck and activate all trigger effects of cards discarded this way.
It's like another drive check.
Yes. It's another way around like plus drive checks. But actually this one is actually much better than the Legion, wouldn't you say?
I don't remember what the Legion actually does. Let me check.
I wish I had Ben here because Ben did play this quite religiously. So.
Oh no, it's a type of wine. Yeah, it tastes like sand.
Tastes like sand. The grammar of this card is weird. What do you mean, Mate? What do you mean by the grammar of this card is weird? Because normally they use the term officially discard, discard, but actually, right, in the whole aspect of the whole bubble of card gaming, right, it's called milling. But Japanese don't use the word mill
because they don't have one. Okay, the original Pinot Noir's skill is, isn't it Legion? You may mill the top 3 cards of your deck to a drop zone. If you do, choose one card to a drop zone and call it to Vanguard Circle. That's one. And the other one is choose one of your rear guards and retire it. When using your attacks of Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, using it plus 5k. It's a very, I mean, it's a common. No, so it's a double rare, but it doesn't do a whole lot actually. So
it doesn't do a whole lot indeed.
I think this is a pretty good upgrade.
Yeah, in fact, right, even if you do decide to play the Legion for some odd reason, right, this Pinot Noir, the Legion made Pinot Noir, right, wouldn't really help you all too much as well, because this one is more worth towards it. So these two will come in the set and on their set as their own. We're not gonna be seeing these mixed together with the Legion, not say like Thing Saver. But beyond that, actually, this one is actually quite rock solid and allows you to kind of like set things up. And not only will you get a lot of power, this is more of a late game kind of game. But not only will you get a lot of power if you manage to get into the late game, but you also will be able to actually proc off certain things as well. Imagine if you get your over trigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine if you get your over trigger this way, Blessed Favor. Imagine if you get Blessed Favor in there. Then you get all the triggers within 1 plus 100 million as well. And then you also will get if there's another trigger after that, you still get more after the fact as well. So just imagine like what kind of potentiality that you could actually see through here. And I think if you especially manage to somehow mill, don't mill your over trigger and then you have 15 in there, your opponent still has to figure out when the over trigger is coming.
You mill your over trigger, GG, bro.
No. If you don't mill your over trigger, even more GG. Also,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, also Vermilion decks cries against Pinot Noir mid. So yes, especially because Vermilion actually cannot actually attack this.
Vermilion can't attack this, but Clarissa can.
No, Clarissa can't attack it. Clarissa can't
Oh,
attack.
cannot be attacked. No, because wait. Does Clarissa attacks the units in the circle? Oh
Choose
yeah,
3 of your opponent's Vanguard or Regard circles, and this unit battles all of your opponent's units on the chosen circle.
Yeah, still cannot be attacked.
Yeah, so it still cannot.
That's true.
So.
Yeah. Oh, what do you know? Magic art, yay.
Indeed, also. And of course, some of the reprints that we're getting from there is Columbard. You're also getting
Negrobone and Tommy the Ghosty Brothers.
Tommy the Ghosty Brothers. And you also get Negrobone, yes. So these are pretty much essential cards. So like these are really good choices. These are really good choices for Grand because Columbard it's highly sought after. So is Negrobone as well, and these two are like very essential. Like at the time when they released, they were for Night Rose, and they're well known for Night Rose, obviously. But then with the way that design, right, you can actually tag them for any Grade 3 Vanguard as well. So even cards like Baskak in the day and what were the other Grand Blue aces at the time as well?
For the V series?
Yeah, for V series. I
I
remember
think it's just Baskak and Night Rose.
Baskak and Night Rose. There's more than that. But
I don't remember actually.
Ben would know also. I think I should have gotten Ben on here. So
Yeah.
high price cards also. The chances of the OT using Pinot Noir second skill is very slim. Very possible indeed. Yeah, it's very possible. So yeah. High price cards also. Yeah, they are pretty high price cards. Especially even the Japanese also. These cards are actually priced quite highly. So the fact that they are getting reprints here, right, will ease the burdens of people that are looking to play Grand Blue. So yeah. Yo, what I missed was busy watching Super Robos. We went through Clarissa and we're going through the Grand Blue cards right now. So just chatting and just theorizing about what kind of impact that we can see from Grand Blue over here. So they all are pretty good actually. They all are superbly good. So and that's kind of a hard thing to really say with Weekend Collection. Because arguably speaking, right, some people can argue that 1 or 2 cards isn't that great, but when you look at all 3 of these, it's like actually all these are pretty great actually.
Yeah, they're good. They're good on their own, actually. And they're very splashable also.
Super splashable as well. So like you don't the only thing that Pinot Noir only needs, right, is to have this Pinot Blanc in there. So and of course Pinot Blanc works well if you have a Pinot Noir, but the fact is, right, that this unit cannot be attacked. It gets plus 5k shield for every 2 triggers. Like you can just tag only Pinot Blanc, make use of the second skill, and you have yourself a pretty darn good shield.
Yeah.
So
imagine for Pinot Blanc and drop. I mean, you can fetch her back. You can still fetch her back.
You can still there's still other ways that you can fetch back. So using other unit skills. So not necessarily by Pinot Blanc's own skill. But of course, it works better if you pair it well with its Legion leader, which is Pinot Noir. So
Pinot Noir.
So,
and I think for this one, you'll want to play Protect 2 so that you can make Pinot Blanc even bigger.
yes. Now they mention it, right. Yes, actually, this might be a Protect 2 deck. Because
very likely Protect 2.
Yeah, Protect 2. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. Because then you can put it under Pinot Blanc. Pinot Blanc, and then make that even more powerful in the early games, even further down the line as well. We got more. Mega Colony is what again? Mega Colony is Giraffa. So
Giraffa.
So Mega Colony is actually Giraffa, and something that Aegis is looking forward to. So
Protect 2 heavy.
Protect 2 heavy.
Is that what? Oh, plus 25k shield? Nah, this is like a 40k shield, bruh.
Yeah. There's a 40k shield when I intercept. So.
You don't think having Night Rose as your Vanguard would kind of help as well? I mean, for one, Pinot Blanc requires Pinot Noir to attack on the Vanguard circle before you can even call out from the drop zone.
Yeah.
And secondly, even if you do manage to do that somehow for some reason, like you have Pinot Blanc on your Vanguard circles, and Night Rose attacks, she would potentially retire Pinot Blanc on herself, which kind of makes it moot anyway. This one, I think Pinot Blanc, even though it's like this Pinot Legion set, even though they are kind of splashable, I still think that they can have their own dedicated decks just for these two. What do you think?
I can actually agree to that. And in fact, I think Night Rose will actually be a good secondary, because you can still have a Night Rose deck mainly, but then just splash in Pinot Noir actually.
Yeah, but your playstyle will be very different though. I mean, it's more situational based already.
Yeah. So you switch your Vanguard based on the situation. Like if you can't make it work with Night Rose anymore, or Night Rose isn't gonna be of much aid anymore. You can swap over to the you can transition to the late game by swapping over to Pinot Noir, and then Pinot Noir, right, you can actually get the mill, get the trigger activates. If you still have a lot of decks still at the point in time, so, and then of course you do have Pinot Noir that still has the plus power there. So yeah, so a lot of options right there. So a lot of options that you can actually have Pinot Noir in, and then it can work both as the ace or as the late game ace also, the supplementary. So yeah. And as people pointed out also, I have to say I do like these Grand Blue reveals. So I like them too as well. Mate is like Ghosties, our Pinot support. They're drinking well tonight. Yeah, if less, then we just use Pinot Legion, less hands also. Yeah, you can use the Pinot Legion just to send it back also. But I don't know. It's hard for me to think. It's hard for me to really consider whether if playing the Legion set would be not the word. The helpful is not the word I'm looking for, but more on the sense that what you call it? More of the sense that would it really be helpful, you know, in the long run also. Like
honestly, if you ask me, the original Pinot Legion set would not help. Now that we already have these two.
Yeah, I think playing 4
It's still like
copies
vastly it's
better.
much better.
Vastly better. So, if less hands also, indeed. Correct also. Yeah, you can get less hands and you also can fix your problem of decking out very fast. But yeah, it comes down to the situation from there, whether if you really do need the Legion to be in play just for that one turn to send back. So
yeah.
My brain is finding it hard to process everything so far today. So not to worry, Luca. So you can always look back at the log. But you can also like join our Discord server that you see over here. Links in the description box below. And you can read these cards slowly for yourself and just get a good idea of just absorb everything at your own pace, really. So
yeah. If anything, I'm not sure. You can also ask the guys in the channel. Anyone who's there will be more than happy to help you out.
Absolutely. So yeah. So I do highly encourage that you join our Discord server. So it's a nice place to be. Right. Then yeah. So that's pretty much the news. So now let's take a look at yesterday's news actually, which is for Reiji actually. Oh yeah, yesterday's news and then the day before. Now Reiji is
I
actually.
think we talked about Reiji.
Yeah, we haven't talked about Reiji, at least not on this platform for sure.
Yeah, not yet.
Excuse me, sorry. Tea. I talk a lot as well, so I learned that I'm very gassy when I talk a lot. So
Gassy.
I don't know. I just ended up like feeling so uncomfortable, and then suddenly I just burp. I just need to burp from there. And all I've ever been doing is just talking, so I'm like just intaking air. And then it just expels out back where it came from. So it's kind of funny when I do like Great Ace Attorney streams and then I just bump midway through because I've just been talking so much.
Nice.
Yeah, so I am wondering how many new unit reveals from this set or who Legion units back in the day then. So well, if we take a look at the VCAN collections, we can actually see how many there were. So Think Saver was a Legion set. We got Pinot Noir, as mentioned, also there as well. Who else?
Martina. Wait, is this one? My bad. I think Martina is in the first one.
Hang on, let me see. Dudley Emperor wasn't a Legion. Break right, new unit. So,
there's no new actor here. My bad. That one is volume 1.
Yeah, this is volume 1. So volume 2 we'll have it also.
Martina is a new. She's a reprint. Okay, my bad.
Tetra Drive.
At least it's not Tetra Burst.
Oh wait, no, Tetra Burst is the Legion. So Tetra Burst.
Yeah, Tetra Drive is the limit break.
The limit break also.
The superior one.
The superior one also. So we got 2 that we've identified thus far. Most of them are actually break right cards. Actually, more break right than they are actually Legion sets also.
Yeah.
They're probably saving some of the Legion sets for other things. Prominence Glare is also another Legion, so that's 3. Who else do we have? Spino Driver is a brick ride. Reiji is a thing. It's a thing, yeah.
You know what?
You don't know, we mentioned already. Yeah. And of course Vera and Sol, so that's 4.
Yeah, Vera.
So
Vera, yes.
So there's technically 4 what's that? There's 4 Legions. Oh no.
Fallon also.
No, Mega Flare as well. Mega Flare is...
Yeah, Fallon, Mega Flare. Oh wait, Fallon was with Coil, right, back then?
Fallon? No, Fallon was the trophy attacker for
Yeah.
it was
Sorry,
the
my
trophy
bad.
attacker for Liberators.
I got it mixed up. Yeah, I got it mixed up with Coil. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, there's basically five legions in here actually. So
Genesis, Genesis is Yggdrasil. Yggdrasil is already out.
Yggdrasil already came out already.
Yeah, so it's not specific from this set.
Really? Is
I
Yggdrasil out
think
already?
so.
I don't think so.
CO Yggdrasil is already out, if I recall.
In V series.
Yes. Yeah. With
Oh
no.
yeah. It is.
Yeah, but it's not from this set.
Of course, it's not from this set as well. This one came from BBT 12.
Yeah.
And she plays with a Divine Gauge. Oh crap. She plays with a Divine Gauge.
Not touching that one.
Divine Gauge is fun actually. Divine Gauge is fun. So.
Touching it.
I tried it. Vanguard EX, Vanguard EX, right? You can actually play Artemis. Artemis actually plays with Divine Gauge. It's actually super fun to play.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, there's 5 of them. So basically, there's 5 Legion sets that's in here. So I think they might be saying some more Legion sets for like a future VP boost. So yeah, keep your eyes open as well because there's definitely a lot of popular units. I can definitely see Vortex Dragonoid being a thing. Vortex Dragonoid is gonna come from Kagero at some point as well. Garnet Star has also gonna come out as well because Garnet Star is super popular. And Blaster Joker, you gotta have Blaster Joker.
Yes.
You gotta have Blaster Joker somewhere.
You should please make Blaster Joker into a legit V series unit, please. Thank you.
Yeah, actually that would be really cool. Also. I would love to see Blaster Joker as.
What if it's Astro Reaper? No, you know, it might be the case, you know. It might be Astro Reaper instead.
Correct. So. And a lot of Limit Break and Break Air units. Yeah, it's at a time whereby a lot of Limit Break and Break Air units should be coming out already. So, but of course, with the reboot into Overdress, right, and this being moved into V Premium, right, I think V Premium on its own, right, it allows it to be able to finally have like some breathing space, especially in between boosters. So because it was the main at the time and there were so many clans they need to boost up, so it ended up being so congested that a lot of people kind of lost interest to it. So when they moved over to Overdress, right, then now people can appreciate V Premium even more because now the breathing space for V Premium is actually there, so people can actually like experience the current cards, and after that when new cards comes out, they have a lot more time to really experience and experiment a lot within the V Premium aspect. So let's take Premium out of the way first also. So yes, like because of the break, I feel like I'm actually now quite excited for V Premium when it comes out. Like there's a lot of good things going on for it. Really, all the reviews is like everything looks so good, and it's so nice to see.
Yeah.
Indeed, so.
Amazing.
Luke says I heard Tetra Burst, then Tetra Drive, then almost forgot. Then almost thought of Tetra Burst Drive.
Tetra Burst Drive.
Isn't it called Anger Ball or isn't it called Anger Ball Dragon?
Anger Ball, yeah.
What was the stripe for Blue Wave?
Blue Wave. I think it was. I don't remember. Let me check.
Right, well he does that, so I'll read more of this as well. Blaster Joker retired the opponent. I think Blaster Joker.
Flood Hazard and Tetra Ball. Yeah.
Flood Hazard Tetra. Tetra Ball, yes. Tetra Ball is also good.
Tetra Ball. Anger Ball is the great tree.
Yeah, Anger Ball is a great tree. Yeah. Indeed. So, Glendios will be an so, yeah. Blaster Joker retire, but actually, right, I can actually imagine Blaster Joker actually having a guaranteed retire. So it can bypass, so it can bypass like resist and such as well. Yeah. So I that wouldn't be too bad, because then you know, like Blaster, what you call it? Then Blaster Joker will actually be one of those cards, right? That you can rely on specifically, or retire lock cards. Blaster Joker can retire lock cards. That'd be nice. That'd be quite nice. Hi Kaio, good to see you. Yep.
Hello Kaio.
The legit way to kill your opponent, so please come find the wrong way on that.
You know what? All I did was play him a card game.
Actually, I do. Actually, right. Part of me kind of like wants to see Rebirth versus Blaster Joker.
Rebirth versus Blaster Joker.
Like put it in V Premium. Like put it in V Premium. Give me Rebirth with how much to the skill that it does with the mass locking, and then give me Blaster Joker. Then V series Blaster Joker versus Rebirth. Let's go. I want to see that fight actually. I don't mind seeing that fight. I would love to see that fight.
Ha! You can't lock my units when I lock them myself to restand. Retire lock cards.
I'm more excited if Transcore comes to Arco Force. So yeah, I mean if Transcore does come, it would be quite nice. So, but I think they purposely picked the blue wave because I think that it might have some benefits for the blue wave deck actually. I actually would like to see this Tetra Drive. Where is it?
Is up there, or is it the first one? Yeah, it's the first one.
I would like to see. I would like to see this Tetra Drive actually do something and have a skill that's great enough that it actually can bring premium blue wave. Because I think blue wave is there's a lot of potentiality in blue wave actually, and I would like to see actually blue wave kind of like come back up to scale, with Tetra Drive actually being the front runner over here. It'd be nice to see.
Don't look at me.
No, I'm not gonna look at it. I'm not gonna look at it. I would love to see it as well. I would love to see it is what I say as well. And of course I can always have Brendan with CFA do it as well. So I might even build a deck and then just play with him also. Because I kind of really dig especially when I play Blue Wave as well. Like, I kind of really dig like the play style that Blue Wave did as well.
Yeah. Blue Wave is a very fun. It's a very fun.
It's technical, but it was super fun to play Blue Wave as well. The problem is that everything is just not there. So, and plus, Valios is also a blue wave as well, so you can also tag him in as well. Let's see, it's been a while. Let me take a look at Valios. It's been a while.
Sure. I think there was a V series card also.
Yeah, he has a V series card as well, of course. Valios' skill is Color +1. At the beginning of your right phase, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to one card with blue wave in its card name from your hand. Call it the Vanguard Circle. It gets +2k until the end of the turn. If you call the card, you get to draw a card. Okay. Then of course on the Vanguard Circle, Soul Blast one card with blue wave in its card name. When your G unit with blue wave in its original card name strikes, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to one of your opponent's Vanguards, and until the end of the turn, increase or decrease its power to 11,000, and its power cannot increase or decrease other than for this effect and a Guardian Shield. So
this one is a premium killer, man.
This is a
12k, 13k. No, you are 11k.
Correct, you are 11k as well. So this one actually, So actually, I would love to see Tetra Drive and Valios. And let's take a look at the V premium version of this also. The V series version of this. V series version is Card +1, Soul +1. Choose one of your opponent's Vanguards. Until end of turn, it gets -5k power. And if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, its power cannot increase or decrease other than by this effect or Guardian Shield. So yeah, that's 1+ right there for V series. X skill. Once per turn, discard a card with the same name as the name of your Vanguard from your hand. Remove all markers from your circles, and call up to 5 cards from your drop zone to regard circles. And take note, he doesn't have a gift marker actually. So yeah. And of course, once per turn, at the end of the battle, that unit attacked, choose 2 of your regards, and you may exchange their positions. So depending on your style, So depending on your style of play, right, and depending what Tetra Drive actually can do, what Tetra Drive can actually do when it comes out in V series, right? You're either playing you're probably either playing this Valios or you're playing the V series Valios.
Yeah.
Yeah, V series Valios is just bringing Megiddo-chan on a date. Pretty much so. Yeah, V premium is more cheap after D era here in Brazil. So yeah, because a lot of people be focusing more on D era, so not a lot of people be focusing on V premium, and so it might be easier for you to build V premium in that way. So so what if it gains a drive when the attack of the attacks is the 6? Actually, what was Tetra Drive's original skill?
When your Vanguard attacks, I think. Yeah, when after Tetra Drive attacks, and if it's a second battle, then he gets the other skill, which is to counter blast 2, and drop 2 cards to restand itself after your rearguard's 4th attack.
Yeah. So he's the 5th attack basically.
Yeah.
And he attacks second, of course. So you have to.
And you don't drop also, no?
Yeah, correct.
You don't lose a drive or anything.
You don't lose a drive, so you get back the +2. So yeah. I'm sorry, but where do you guys live? We live in Singapore.
Singapore.
We live in Singapore. So yeah.
Bagrapore. Sorry. Bro, can you not?
Yeah. So I think gaining an extra drive actually might make sense, because then it can fulfill its Tetra drive thing. Like, make it so that it restands, and after that it gets +1 drive, or it gets +1 drive, and after that when it restands it loses 1 drive.
Yeah, I guess.
That'd be one way for it.
Or it's a costless restand, but you lose 1 drive. Who knows? I think that kind of works also.
Yeah. So that's quite a good number of way to speculate also. But whichever the case is, right, I kind of hope that the V series for Tetra Drive, right, will actually bring the Blue Wave deck up to prominence also. Because I would love to see this deck back. And if you guys haven't tried it, right, like, if you can do it on CFA, or if you can do it on any other platform that has it, so, but like Tabletop Simulator or that, but give a Blue Wave deck a try. Because it's really quite fun actually. It's super fun to fight against. It's super fun to play. Very technical. Very technical. So you gotta have some practice in order to really play it efficiently. But I think once you do so, right, you find that there's quite a lot to the Blue Wave deck also. Especially with Flight Hazard and Tetra Ball. These two were fun. These two were fun to face up against.
Tetra Ball and what?
And,
Flight Hazard.
Yeah,
it's fun.
they were super fun. They're super fun. So.
Mm-hmm.
We'd love to try this. We'd love to try the Blue Wave deck one of these days also. Maybe sooner rather than later. So I'll just need to talk to Brandon about it. So, all right. So yeah. So or maybe like Spectral Duke but attack condition. Possibly. So yeah. Hi Vimer, good to see you. I can see that Mate. So if I can get the power right, it will make it much better. So next kind collection has to have the blue wings boss. By the way, what do you mean the blue wings boss?
Wings.
The only blue wings I know is Celestial, and they're already coming out already. Or maybe if you mean Transcore, so then yeah, I think Transcore will be quite nice for it.
I think it's Transcore. Yeah, knows right.
Yeah, so. All right. There's one question that was brought up to our attention yesterday's stream, and I think it's something that we want to talk about also. It's the fact that the new grade 3 that came out for Morokumo, right? It's a little super niche, and a lot of people are not super big on it. So.
Oh, what's the skill?
Right, so we read here, this is the new grade 3 that's coming up for Vikan Collection. Stealth Fiend Chief Nura Hyoga. So, its skill is, right, Color Blast, act once per turn by paying Color Blast 1. Look at the top 5 cards from your deck, choose up to 1 card with Stealth Fiend in its card name from among it, call it to a regard circle, shuffle your deck. Then if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets +1 drive until the end of the turn. For every 2 of your regards with Stealth Fiend in their different card names. So they gotta be different units Stealth Fiends in order for you to be able for it to count towards it. And of course, when your drive check reveals a unit, if it's a normal unit with Stealth Fiend in its card name, call it to a regard circle, and that unit gets +10k until the end of the turn. If not, put it into the drop zone, and this effect is mandatory.
Potentially 5 attacks.
Potentially 6 drive checks. You get additional 4. You can get additional 4 also, especially if you manage to stack the Excel circles.
Oh yes, Excel, yes. Yep. There's also Excel clan. Yeah, 6.
Yeah, so you can get 6 drives out of this one here. But one thing that was pointed out by quite a number of people is that there's not a lot of names with Stealth Fiend. There's not a lot of units with Stealth Fiend in their names. And most of them are actually not very helpful, or they're more helpful towards Shirayuki. And the thing about Shirayuki, right, is that Shirayuki is actually being reprinted for Morokumo, so there's a little more incentive for you to actually play these units with Stealth in their name, even if they help for Shirayuki.
I think Hyoga is more of a support for Shirayuki rather than its own deck. What do you think?
In a way, yes, also. Or it can be vice versa. These two are complementary towards each other. If we look at the one that's being reprinted here, right, which is Fantasy Storm Panther Shirayuki, her skill is when placed right by paying Soul Blast 2, choose 3 of your opponent's front row, and they get -5k at the end of the turn. If this unit is on Vanguard or Guardian Circle, they get -10k instead of -5k. So this is more of a defensive capability also. And then of course, when its attack does not hit, by returning 1 Shirayuki from your drop, you can return 1 of these units from the drop zone to your hand instead. So you can actually call her down in order to get that -10k guard.
Yeah, these two. If you want to play Hyoga, it must be with Shirayuki. I cannot see a deck where only one exists and not the other.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, right, the hint that they give, right, or the blurb that they give, right, for what you call it, for
Morokumo?
for Morokumo was that this one is supposed to combine well with Shiryuki.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Yeah, so Andrew's like Neuro Hyoga isn't bad, so but the problem is the amount of stealth fiends in V series is very small. Grade 2s and grade 3s is fine, but grade 1s is just Rainy Madam, so and the 2 PGs, which is not great. So yeah, that's what we're kind of looking at right here. So because
Yeah.
you don't have a lot of grade 1s to choose from, of course, but I think that's the kicker right there. So you want to use some units, right, or rather have some units that has abilities that can actually boost or attack from the back row. So that's how you can actually get that's how you can actually maximize your thingamabobs also. As we can see here, there's 2 PGs here that's actually stealth theme, and the only other one is Rainy Madam. And Rainy Madam is a card that's actually helpful for Shiryuki. So yeah, so the way I see it, right, like I think the argument that I read was that there's not enough stealth fiends in general, but looking at it, right, I think you have to be very creative with your builds, so and just find ways, right, or find stealth fiend cards, right, that allows you to be able to attack from back row, or can still be beneficial even if you call them to the back row circle. So this one is one of the new cards that's released for that, Stealth Fiend Flight Cycle. So when this unit attacks, right, you may have this unit get plus 5k at the end of that battle. If you do at the end of that battle, put this unit in the bottom of the deck, and if it was placed by a card's ability this turn, you get to draw a card. So yeah. And after that, some of the older ones, this is Stealth Fiend Gasha Doroku. This was this is a promo actually. So rest the regard, and this unit gets plus 5k at the end of the turn. What else we have?
Still very niche, to be honest.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of these really kind of say like you're basically playing Nura Hyoga with Shiryuki in mind. So with Shiryuki in mind. So those two really will go together. And I think it also helps as well to limit the number of stealth fiends, because you're playing an XL clan with Borokumo. So if you manage to spawn a good number of XL circles, right, going to the late game, right, having units with there, right, you can drive out that +1 drive for very a lot for very a lot basically. So yeah, imagine so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You get +4 drives or so that's 6 drives right there. And by then, if your opponent still hasn't died for some reason, you either should be close to decking out, or you know, or something
opponent
else, or opponent dies first. So yeah.
Can you play draw play 12 draws in this one? Whew, how to take up.
The risk about stealth is that you'll never add cards from drive track to hand. So yeah, but you do call them out also, and you have ways to refresh it also, especially when I pointed out the flight cycle. Because if it's called by a card ability, you can actually get to you actually send it to the bottom of that, and then you actually can draw 1. So you actually get the +1 back in that regard. So you definitely will be want to playing 4 of these flight cycles also, in order to really benefit from Nura Hyoga over here. So yeah, so this deck can only go fast as you won't keep cards from drive checks with this. So yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is more of an early game kind of build rather than a late game kind of build. And if you have to go into the mid to late game, right, that's why Shiryuki will come into play.
Yes. Or even if you don't have Shiryuki as your Vanguard, her Guardian, her skill also extends to Guardian Circle, so it's still okay.
No, you will get Shiryuki because she's part of the set. She's part of the reprint.
I mean, as in even if you don't have Shiryuki as a Vanguard, if you are stuck with Hyoga for some reason, at least Shiryuki's skill still extends to the Guardian Circle, so you can still guard with that.
Correct, indeed. So yeah, so high roll, true high roll, draw fronts. So yeah, true high roll. But got my 3 decks that are already solid. So Shiryuki, Yasui, and Hyuga. So but Nura Hyoga needs a support bat. So she's not worth investing into this set. So the other cards are worth to invest. So to each their own. But as we point out, so if you do play with Nura Hyoga, right, yes, it does need support, and it actually already has support within the own set that's coming out, which is Shiryuki as well. So as mentioned, right? Everybody has said about this deck, right? It's an early game deck. It's not supposed to be for late game. It's not supposed to make you last. It's supposed to kill your opponent with the multiple drives, and then afterwards, right, you just switch to Shiryuki for the power down pressure to finish off your opponent, or you'll be using Shiryuki to supplement so that you can actually get the power down straight from there. So there's a lot of things that you have to consider with Nura Hyoga. It's one of the more harder decks that you have to build. But if you know what you're going into with Nura Hyoga, right, you will be able to get a lot out of it. So I can see people actually can get a lot out of it also, especially if they're able to get the whole get a lot of drives in the initial going with its first skill here. So Like, just +2 drive actually is quite detrimental. Turning to a quad drive is actually quite detrimental.
Oh, it's a quintuple drive. Assuming because on the turn that I mean, if you were to ride to Hyoga,
Then you fill the
on your
circle,
grade
right?
3 ride up turn, you get 1 extra circle.
Uh-huh.
That will make your rear guards 6 in total.
Correct. So, but remember, you have to call out units first, and then you activate his skill in order to get your 6, and then you can get the quintuple drive. So yeah.
And that's assuming your opponent's already grade 3.
Correct. So yeah. So if you go second, right, 100% absolutely, you can get straight into to quintuple drive from there, and that's very dangerous for your opponent to guard. You can eliminate a lot of his hands because he's worried. Excuse me. He's worried about not only the 4th attack, but any other additional attacks because of its other skill, whereby you can actually call it to a front row rear guard circle, and then it gets plus 10k. So yeah.
All
it's
attacks.
an early game, so it's early game. It's
early game
very
Russia,
early,
yes.
So, yeah.
Early game you go with Hyuga, then Hyoga, then after that, right, late game you go with Shirayuki.
Correct. So
that's how I see it.
Yeah, that's how I see that. So I think this card is okay. Definitely not the best, obviously. There are a lot of better Murakumo decks out there as well. Hyuga. But at the same time, also right, for Murakumo, right, Neuro Hyuga, right, isn't too bad. It's a harder deck to play and a harder deck to build up. But I think there's a lot of potentiality, especially if you know what you're gonna go with it, and especially if you find out that you'll be using Neuro Hyuga at the first, in order to threaten your opponent with quintuple drive. After that, you can swap over to something else, like maybe Shoryuki or even Hyuga for that matter. Anything that's generic enough, right, that the rest of the Stealth Fiends can actually work closely with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this isn't bad at all. This isn't bad
It's
at all.
not as bad as it's not as bad as people make it out to be. It's actually okay.
Yeah, it's actually pretty okay, and I can see people getting a lot of mileage out of this. So this is gonna be the newest ace for Murakumo in a long time. So I think it'll be worth investing into and just figure it out and just trying to figure something out with it. So, and if you don't figure out, of course you do have your other decks to go with, but you do have the other new cards that's coming out from the set that will definitely benefit you straight. So yeah, don't carry it out. So. What clans are you guys most hyped about? Also, well, Dempster is very hyped about OTT because there's a lot of good stuff that you can actually get from OTT, especially with Susano in play.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Nova Grappler, so I'm just waiting for the Autumn Riser to really come out as well. But I'm also looking forward to Genesis as well because we do have a lot of Genesis cards. We actually have Himiko in back in the office also, so I kind of like want to put them into play. So I'm also picking up Genesis as well. So I'm looking forward to see what Fortuna can do. So yeah. This is a turn 2 deck also. Yeah, it's a turn 2 deck. So in Premier you can try more as an early GB activation with more multiple decks. Exactly. Because you can have your strikes to supplement first before you even go straight into using his into using Neuro Hyuga skill. Like he's there to just stall until that fateful moment. So yeah. Yes, hi Kazu, good to see you. We saw it. But yeah, so yeah, I'll stick with Hyuga, so more Polish Shoryuki. Yeah, absolutely. Also. But I would say if you do get your hold of Neuro Hyuga, right, like give it a shot. Just give it a shot, and you might find something that hasn't been seen yet. So. Same here with Genesis and Pale Moon also, because Bunny Beast came as bundle also. Well, unfortunately, because it's not Harry, so I'm not really too keen on Pale Moon. I am picking it up as well, but I'm not that keen on the bunnies kind of. So, but we'll see where it goes. We're just waiting for the skills to come out right now. So it should be out sooner rather than later.
Probably within this week. Who knows?
Yeah, probably within the week or definitely next episode. Because I think we got most of the reviews out already. I think we're only missing one or two. I think.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I bring unfortunate news about the Vanguard Zero acrylic stands that we are so that I wanted to get. It's only during the Bushiroad Game Fest, which means we will not get it unless it's on the secondary market, which will be twice the price.
Yeah, pretty much. Also. Yeah. So we're waiting for Fortuna. We're waiting for Bowing Sword. So we're waiting for Genesis, Narukami. We're waiting for Pale Moon, Arco Force. Mega Colony is tomorrow. So yay to Aegis. Aegis. Raging Form. So Shadow Paladin. Prominence Core. Mega Flare. Infinite Zero Dragon. This one will be interesting. Kronos Command. And Chet Noir. So there's about 10 clans, 11 clans if you count tomorrow's one as well. So there's 11 clans to go that we're waiting for release right now. So yeah, so they might still have it in EC shop later, so like the gallery stuff. So they might.
I'll have to check.
Yeah, but then shipping.
Yeah, shipping is
will be the problem right there. So
yeah, I mean, it with the price, you might as well just get it from, I don't know, Mandarake or something. It's gonna be the same anyway. Calculating, adding all the shipping fees and everything.
Yeah, time to go mencari them still.
Mencari, tak mau lah. 買啦買啦話買。
So I think my opponent dies before he can even strike. So since you attack almost 9 times. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of Nurahyoga.
Yep. That's not just Hiroga but also the others as well. So like that's the point of Morokomo as well. But in other fact, right? So there's a lot of good potential. I don't think they'll be releasing these cards right without a lot of forethought to it. So again, like if you do manage to get them right, like just give it a shot. You never know what you might find. Give it a shot. You never know what you might find. Because there's quite a lot that we can see over here. So it's just a matter of figuring out like what it is that you want to put together, how you're gonna put it together, basically. So yeah. Right. Beyond that, oh yeah, there's also Reiji. We kind of glossed over it. So for Dark Irregulars, Bestial Squeezer. When this unit is placed on the Regard Circle, put a normal unit from your drop zone to the bottom of the deck, and you may so charge 1. And its skill act on the drop zone by binding this card, choose one of your Regards and put it into the soul. The Grade 2, Blaze Foresight, when this unit is placed on the Vanguard or Regard Circle, by paying count +1, choose up to 2 trigger units. 2 trigger unit cards in your hand and put them into your soul, and draw a card for each card put in your soul this week. So this one is a bit of a weird one, but it's a way to get more soul from that. So now of course Blade Wing Reiji, X skill, if your soul has 10 or less cards, by paying soul +1, choose a card from your soul and bind it face down. And the kicker here is that its continuous skill is perform all the abilities below based on the number of face down cards in your bind zone. So 5 or more, this unit gets +5k power and it's also active for your opponent's turn. Excuse me. Good. Then 7 or more, during your turn this unit gets +10k 1 drive. 10 or more, this unit gets +10k and +2 critical as well. So this one is a 3 damage, triple drive, +20k, no, +25k as well. If you manage to get 10 of them.
37.
Yeah, and its other skill.
7k.
Yeah, and its other and the last skill that it has is auto on the Vanguard Circle. When this unit attacks, if you have 50 or more cards face down in your bind zone, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards and deal 2 damage to it. So now, this 15 is definitely gonna be harder, and the fact is, right, Dark Irregulars has taken a turn for, some would say, the worst. I don't really think so. Because it's just kind of like a different way of approaching this. So at least now they really made Reiji right in a way right that it cannot be used and abused by Gastile.
yeah, you can.
So yeah, you can't really use this in premium all that matters. So because of the different playstyle here, but consider the fact right that it's self-sufficient. And while there's not a lot of cards that really that goes into the bind zone by way or another, right, in Dark Irregulars in general, so mostly your stuff will be within here. But you're not looking at the 15 here. The 15 here is your plus. You want the 10, honestly speaking, because that 3 damage will make it so that at 2, right, the person is already guarding. The person is already guarding PGs already. And +1 drive as well. So the way I see it, right, you build up the 10, and you don't want to go above. You don't want to go above 10 as well, because otherwise you can't use this ability anymore. But at the very least, right, you can get the 5 from there, and thanks to a few other skills, right, you can actually gain capabilities that allows you to bring this up to 7. So you can at least get the +10k +1 drive. Then you have ways to soul charge it, right? Then you can actually build up. You can slowly build up to the 10, then maybe to the 15 in that regard. So
I'm kind of thinking right now, what is the most number of cards that you can jam into your soul or Dark Irregulars at this moment?
20.
20, right?
20.
This includes support cards like Dimension Creeper and the likes?
Yep. I
can see this as a surprise. I can see this as a surprise finisher. Something that not many people see.
Only if you manage to empty out your soul to less than 10.
Yes.
But even then also, because there's not a lot of cards, right, that actually goes into the bind face down. Take note face down, of course. It's specific. So you will have to some way somehow, right, manage to supplement it so you can get the at least the 7. Like the plus 10k to critical is a little negligible because by that point in time you wouldn't want the extra critical. It wouldn't serve you any purpose. But if you do manage to get the 10 somehow, right, or if you do manage to get the 7 somehow, right, that can give you a lot of boon already for the late game from there. I don't think this is bad, and I can disagree with some of the other people. But it's within its own bubble. Like this for this deck, right, it's within its own bubble of V series, meaning that you'll never see this Reggie in premium. You'll never see it in premium.
Yeah. Actually, you can, but it will still be mainly a Reggie deck with the original Dimension Creeper.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe.
Because you need the Soul Blast anyway.
Correct. So.
And this is not once per turn like we all mentioned. So you can just keep Soul Blasting to bind, and then use Dimension Creeper skill, Soul Charge more.
Even though she's don't forget icicle resistant. Even though she's face up law also. But the thing is, they look specifically for face down cards, so any face up cards in the bind zone won't count.
Yes.
So yeah.
Oh yeah. If Reggie happens to face Vanquisher, then yeah, GG.
Yep.
Legit.
And yes, look, we did talk about OTT a little bit. So yeah, OTT is Damsel's favorite clan. So, yeah.
But if it's not them, my favorite clan would be Aqua Force.
Alternate.
That's that's literally the first clan I got. I chose when I got into the game.
Tavas.
No, not Tavas. It was Tetrabus.
Tetrabus, yes. But Tavas afterwards.
So much. Yeah, I have so much love-hate relationship with that card. I swear to God. No, not Tavas. Tetrabus when I first started.
And of course, against is very Soa's Child laughs even more. Best match, yeah.
Soa's Child. Best match.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah, because I think the V series Soa's Child actually sends your opponent's cards to bind. So and it's bind face down as well. So let's take a look here. Yeah, and bind. Yeah, choose one of your opponent's regards and bind it face down. Yeah, so this one will help for it. So this one actually can actually benefit from certain other matchups in order to get more out of it. So. Like Reggie isn't bad. Reggie isn't bad at all, but it's within its own bubble.
Yeah, if it works, it works.
Yeah, Icicle is useless because it binds face up also, and it looks specific for face down cards. So there's specifics to it. So, look at the second skill. Hang on, look at the second skill for Reggie. Hang on, oh here we go. Perform the following abilities based on number of face down cards in your bind. So, yeah, for face down cards in your bind. Face down cards in your mind, so any face down cards wouldn't actually be able to block it. So yeah, but let's look for icicle resistance. So just to make sure that we're not missing anything.
It just says bind this card. Oh, we're assuming it's a bind face up.
Yeah. When they say bind this card, usually means bind face up. So, but let's look at the ruling for bind here. Bind refers to to the bind zone. So the bind zone is again right the drop zone outside of the field. But only the owner of the face down cards in the bind zone may look at the information on it. So cards are placed in the bind zone face up unless otherwise specified. So when they say bind a card, right, they're always bound face up.
Oh, okay. I get EJ's what EJ's trying to say already. The Soa's Child Dragon.
Oh, we saw the first skill. We saw it, was it?
Oh, it's the second skill. Counter Blast 1 and Soul Blast 1 grade 3. Turn all your cards in your opponent's bind zone face up.
Okay.
It's like, oh, you have got 15 cards in your hand. Here, let me help you. I need to see what they are.
Oh, you got a bunch of face up and face down cards. So here, let me make them uniform for you. Yoink.
Yeah. Here, help me. Let me help you cure your OCD.
Okay. Thank you very much. I shoot 2 damage to you.
No, you can't. Yeah, because it's all face up. You can only flip the face down cards face up.
What is second skill shows?
Yeah, that's why it's like, oh, I see you've got face down. It'll be a shame if they're face up.
Yep.
Includes cards bound after this as well.
Yep. Sorry, I got it the other way around also, because sometimes it's still face up, but no, this one is everything face up.
Yeah.
Ha. Yeah.
GG. Reggie be like, I might joke to you. Just a laughing point.
Correct, as well. What is Aqua Force? I already know Ocean, man. When Flanger comes out, you'll know what Aqua Force is like. So basically, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I see? Do you mean Icicle?
Oh, no, not
Icicle resistance.
Icicle resistance.
Icicle resistance is bind this card face up and one of your units gets plus 10k at the end of the turn. So. But the problem is, right, cards that are placed in the bind zone face up unless otherwise specified. So you can't, so you honestly cannot, when it says bind this card, right, you have to bind it face up unless there's a card in there that says that all cards going to bind zone are put face down. So there is no way that you can actually, or rather, right, it's specifically within this own set or Reggie himself on his own. Plus one or two cards that's being reprinted as well that you can actually get the they can actually get the face down cards. The other one is this one over here, which I need to track the name of actually. But it's a great one for Dark Irregulars. And it binds itself face down basically.
Let me see.
It's a where actually, it's a where. Where Tiger Jaeger, I think. Let me pull them out. Let me pull out all the were ones. Here we go. Werewolf Ketzer. So
Werewolf Ketzer. Yeah, Ketzer.
Oh wait, no, this is. Wait, hold on. Oh wait, no, this is bind face up. Hang on. Bind this card so charge 2.
Yeah, by binding this card, soul charge 2. Yes.
Oh, I remember.
But it does help the soul charge 2. That's how the soul
charge
charge
2
2
helps also. Yeah, soul charge 2 is generally helps also, but I could have sworn I saw one card that says bind face down. Or maybe I might be mistaken. I believe I may be mistaken, yeah. So yeah, this one is bind face down.
There's not a whole lot of cards that bind face down.
I think if Reggie has ability that says right, if Reggie has ability that says that all cards that are bound are turned face down. Like it's a
that'll be a bit OP to
But it
be
makes
honest.
it more consistent actually. Then it deals with the fact that most of these cards all say bind this card. So then you have a bunch of face down cards and then after that you still have. Then the only cards that face down is only through Reggie's own skill.
So yeah.
Yeah, hang on. My stats is slowly changing right now because evidently speaking, right, it seems like the only way that you can get cards bound face down is either through your opponent's abilities or Reggie's own ones. Dantarian Reggie? Dantarian. Hang on, let me see. King of Mars Dantarian. King of Mars Dantarian.
Call a guardian can conquer to a greater card from your soul. With the opponent that you tie in your soul charge 2. You put to a greater card from your soul. It'll be quite slow. I mean, you can play this to help with the soul charge, but it'll be very, very slow for Reggie. One turn is very costly. For Reggie.
No. Yeah, actually no. A lot of these cards, right, or if they bind, right, they bind face. They bind face down. They bind face up. They don't specifically say bind face down. So yeah, within Reggie himself, you can only do it also. But actually, you're right. Let's take a look at the Blade Wings in general. Let's look at Blade Wings. Let's look at this in premium. Maybe we might discover something.
There's Blade Wing Reggie and Blade Wing Sullivan. 2 different Blade Wings, in fact.
2 different Blade Wings.
Yeah, the original Blade Wing Reggie, which uses the soul. It's one. And Blade Wing Sullivan, which is the G-Era support.
Yeah. Rob Blast is Break That Wall.
Doesn't really help much, actually. Okay, here's the problem. The previous Blade Wing Reggies, or rather the Blade Wings, do not really complement this current Blade Wings at all. They are vastly different. They do not work the same way. So even taking in the old Blade Wings would not help the new Reggie.
Yeah.
It doesn't help at all.
No, it is as you say. Because I think it back to when JJ played Blade Wings, so like it all focuses on soul. Like this is the only card in Dark Irregulars, right? That focuses on heavy cards and the bind zone, which is very head scratching.
Yeah, exactly.
So pretty head scratching. But of course, premium wise, right, you can actually use Blade Wing Sullivan to get that number back down to 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, I mean,
Like I said, it's gonna be very slow.
Yeah, correct. It's within its own bubble. Like honestly speaking, it's within its own bubble.
You can play Blade Wing Tailwind, I don't know, and Quintet Wall every grade 3 into your soul, who knows?
Research for make Reggie work. So now we're just discussing about it. So this is a discussion stream after all. So we're just talking. We're just talking really. So like this is our dedicated time where we can just kind of like sit around and just really talk about Vanguard in general and just really think about it. So it's the same as what me and Leon and Dempster for sometimes, and also JJ on certain occasions as well. This is what we do. Whenever we sit around after playing a game of Vanguard, we just talk about the cards that's coming out and just talk about what's going on. So this is basically that, except that we're on stream right now and we're also including you guys as part of the conversation, because like just to do it on stream, right, it means that we got more voices, we got more opinions as well, and more things to talk about also. And that's why we love having these discussion streams, because it's a good way for you guys to actually chat Vanguard with us. A more dedicated time for us to do so, rather than through our videos where you guys would see our fight videos and such. But if you want to interact us like on a specific time and frame, this is where the discussion stream is also. So yeah, you can expect like talk like this, like research for making Reggie work, just trying to stop and figure out, because this is technically what we've been doing for the past 10 years. Me, Leon, Jiraiya, Dempster, JJ, many others, we've always had this sit down discussion, and we just bring it to stream, that's all. Yep. Well, even if the grade 1 support from the set with Reggie isn't binding face down, so yeah, correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, correct. So as I said, like it's within its own bubble, which means that in order to make this Reggie really work in V Premium, you are specifically trying your best, right, to get up to that 7 as much as possible. Because you don't wanna go over 10. Because if you go over 10, right, there's no chance that you can actually get cards bind face down. So with this being in play, right, Reggie he is the only person that actually can get this going for his own skill, and you're not gonna look at 15, not unless the game drags somehow. But if you can get to 15, right, your opponent should die at that point in time.
Yeah, I mean, it is possible actually. It works better as a late game or mid to late game. Your focus would be 10. It's 10.
Yes, your focus will be 10 or so, or at least 7 to get the additional drive.
Yeah. Correct.
So yeah, in a way also, right, research for this is also to help us figure out like where would you see Reggie? Where would you see Reggie when people are playing him? So ideal timing would definitely be early, because you can at least get the 5, so it becomes a 17k, so it's good defensively in a way. And after that, the next turn, right, especially if you do manage to soul charge 4, then you can get the 7 from there, and maybe even the 10 if you're really strong with the soul charging some way somehow. And yeah, you can make him work also, but he has to be the only one there. But he's the only one that can do it as well. So yeah, not exactly. G era heals still can help you counter charge and soul charge sometimes. So yeah, they do help with the soul charging and the counter charging. So that's ways for you to actually get more soul, so you can actually bind some face down in order for you to be able to get your 10 or 15 if you're going for that. So unless Reggie gets future support, like soul counting of Vanguard, Reggie is considered as 10. So yeah. Actually, no, that'd be one way to do it. Also, like imagine if there was a card out there, right, that gives Reggie the ability to ignore the plus 10 card the 10 or more limitation. So it always considered to have 10 cards in soul. Similar,
I don't know. Cards in the soul are considered as 2 cards.
Cards in soul considered at 10. So similar to the cross, whereby when activating skills, right, it counts that you have 10 cards in soul. When activating skills, right, it counts that you have 0 cards. It is regarded as 0 in your hand for the cross, and so you can do something similar with Reggie in a way. So
yeah, I guess
that could be a future boost that's coming out also. Sadly say I'm not even looking at 10. So 7 already starts making me choose drive, so I'll deck out even faster. Exactly. So your goal here, right, would be to get 7. At that point in time, right, your opponent should either be dead or dying, or you should be dying. So not the best card, but timing wise, right, if you were to see it, right, you do see very early game so they can get things going, and at least you have the plus 5k, so it's actually quite okay defensively. And even if you stick to it as well, right, it only benefits Reiji later on because of the shoot 2 damage. If someone managed to get 15 in there and then you shoot 2, right, your opponent should die. Should die. There is no way that they should be able to survive the shoot 2. But the problem is, right, you commit to Reiji or you don't commit at all.
Yeah, Reiji has to be his own independent deck. You can't take in any other bosses in.
Yeah, the other bosses you can't take in also. So you might
he's
have more
too slow
space.
for that.
Yeah, you might actually have more space for more grade 2s or grade 1s. If you only play your only grade 3 as Reiji. You have ways of searching out, so thanks to the Succubus actually being re-released, the grade 3 searcher.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you also have a Heal Guardians as well. So you actually can take your Heal Guardians as a grade 3. Just try your best not to ride up to them, of course. But yeah, so Cuticle Defender Flavia, that's the name of it. Cuticle Defender.
Cuticle Defender Flavia.
She blocks with her nails. King Kira right there. So speaking of the cross, I just got 4 copies of the Cross V series in the post today. Congratulations.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah, so Dark Irregulars. I know that Dark Irregulars is a very hot topic to really talk about also, especially in premium. So the fact that they actually did something and made it so that you can't really use it in premium is one thing, but it really does force Dark Irregular players, right, to really like stick to it and make him work also. And I think it comes out to practice and deck build from there and play experience in order to make something like Reiji work. So if anything, it'll be a great exercise in deck building and also timing and playstyle as well. Like you can train with Reiji, you might not be able to compete with Reiji. So I will admit as much. You might not be able to compete with Reiji, but you can get a lot of good out of practicing with Reiji. Oh, Yellow Bolt intensifies also. Yeah, rest so chat fun. Correct. So. But yeah, we've been at this for almost 1.5 hours right now, so I think it might be a good time to really call the stream over here. But of course, as always that we do, right, we will leave it on. So if you guys want to add in some extra questions, or if you have another topic you guys want to talk about, so feel free to let us know, and then we can actually talk about it before we end the stream. So just just let us know if there's anything that you want us to talk about also, or if you want to have other points that you want to add into the topics that we talked about also. And we talked about quite a bit here today thus far. So Monday is One Punch Reiji, rest is Soul Charge Engine. So yeah, pretty much. Pretty much also, it's a one punch deck also. Like I can see like Reiji, right, like really be, this is your end game right here. You're supposed to make it so that your opponent, right, has no choice but to shoot 2. You're not winning. You might not be able to win by the 7 or even the 10. You will definitely win with the shoot 2, with the shoot 2 damage. You will definitely win, but you have to commit to it. So. Early Lyrical Monasterio tier lists, I wouldn't say, I honestly can't rate them based on how powerful or how not powerful they are, because I think the decks wise, I think we have to wait until Lyrical Monasterio comes out before we can really put their power to use also. But if you want to talk about like where we would rank them in terms of where we like them to be, we definitely will put Clarissa on top. You guys brawler. For me, I would probably put Celestial second because of the black and white mix mechanic. It's pretty interesting. Third would be the Cat Girls, the War Beasts with the song cards. And then fourth would be the jewelry, the humans with the jewelry, Realistia. Then after that it would be Aesthesis, and then after that it's Felty Rosa. No, Felty Rosa above Aesthesis actually. Yeah. Yeah, so that would be where I would put it as well. That would be where I put it. As much as I like and probably will invest in Felty Rosa because it's a vampire. I've been long associated with vampires. the fact is, right, I think her playstyle with the ghosties is nice and all, but it's not as interesting or as captivating as some of the other playstyles that we see from the other builds. Like, definitely the song cards is one of the more interesting ones out there. Definitely should be on the higher end. And of course, with Clarissa, the Earnest Collects actually being a Gold Paladin / Brawler, / Narukami Brawler deck. That is some of the more exciting reveals that I've seen for Lyrical Monasterio thus far.
Yeah.
Reggie, Spirit Bomb, go! Yeah, basically you can tie any endgame move, right? Any guaranteed endgame move, right, to Reggie, and it would stick. What about you, then? What do you think about where you would place Lyrical Monasterio?
I'm not. I came in like a bit later, so I'm not really sure what the angels or the war beasts or the jewelry. Okay, the jewelry I don't know.
Go based
the
on
others
what you know.
do.
Go based on what you know.
Ariel is definitely gonna be the top because I plan to play that. It's definitely one. Second would be what is it again? One that's before Teresa is don't even remember.
Her dragon skills it can actually can be seen through her stockings.
Hide what's not like you can't really hide everything.
No, you can't.
Yeah. I guess let me see. The second would be I think
Nah, we don't do waifu lists, Kyle. We'll just go by playstyles because I think it's not fair to put a waifu list on them as well.
Okay, I think my second one would be the humans.
Willis,
yeah, Willis, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, then third with Altirosa. Then fourth and fifth will I mean the cat girls and the Celestials. Not really familiar with them, so
yeah, it's okay. Just go with what you know. So, I really like Lester and Clarissa though. We'll wait for the hype to die down in 1 or 2 months so I can buy Clarissa decks. Yeah. But definitely plenty to look forward to. Like even though like Lyrical Monasterio, maybe one of the ones a lot of people might brush off because it's converted Triangle Nation. Like like I don't buy into that. So this month is definitely a good skip for me. Especially since I'm looking forward to V-Clan Collection. I'm also looking forward to Set 3 as well. But now that we're seeing all these reviews, I think a lot of people are already turning their heads to it. So it's similar to how Token Rambu and Monster Strike actually had people's heads started turning because of how interesting the playstyle they are and what we can actually get out of them actually. So while most people may still decide not to invest, but it's very hard to ignore these skills. Very, very hard to ignore these skills. Because you never know when you're gonna face up against them. So you have to know, and you have to know what you might come across, and you have to know what to expect. Because if you don't, right, you'll get caught with your pants down, and you're just gonna suck a lot of thumb basically. So yeah, Mate's like pretending the true wife is you. The true wife is you. Right. So yeah. I'm afraid that Lyrical Monasterio decks will become weak after DBU3. Not necessarily. I don't think so. I honestly don't think that Lyrical Monasterio decks will it may die down. The hype of it will definitely die down by DBU3. But I think that the card reveals, which we will be getting next week, because we're getting Magnolia and Sarah Snow next week. While they may prove to be interesting, right? I think that they will maintain the power creep. So I don't think Lyrical Monasterio will go out of style once DB3 comes out. Because I think with DB3 comes out, right, I think a lot of people might still consider playing with Lyrical Monasterio for these more unique skills also. And of course, they don't have
there's still Monster Strike and Shaman King that's not out yet.
Monster Strike is already out already, but
sorry, there's still Shaman King that's not out
there's
yet.
still Shaman King that comes out also, and a lot of fans of Shaman King will be looking forward to it, especially with the whole idea that spirits actually have 0 critical, and they couldn't get +1 critical right when your Vanguard oversouls, which is super nice also, and it's really good homage to the series.
Looking forward to that as well.
Quite looking forward. Yeah, we're kind of looking forward to Shaman King also because we, at least me, Leon, and Dempster, I think to a certain extent, we used to be like really into Shaman King back in then. So
you used to watch it and I was sick. Let's say something.
Yeah. So I have to get convinced though, Dragon Woman, that have a mechanic that made me love Naoki and Brawlers a lot. So Mao will be patient also. Mao will be patient with revenge. I can be patient too.
Just be patient, Andrew.
Yeah, just be patient. Yeah, just be patient. And of course, we'll be back next week and we'll be talking about Magnolia and Sarah Snow. So you can expect no longer 1 minute shots of Brawler. No, you will get Magnolia and you will get Sarah Snow. So we can start looking forward to seeing what we can expect for DVD 03 right now. So, and hopefully it'll be good choice ones also, because I think that with Magnolia and with Sarah Snow, right, I think that if we see a new different style of play with these two, it will have proven my point that every DB, right, is going to be introducing a new different way to actually play the prison system, the Magnolia in the way that Magnolia plays, and so on and so forth. So it's a wait and see right now. So, and I'm kind of very excited to see what we can expect for these two very popular decks, especially since their DSRs, the queens are coming as DSRs. So yeah.
Really?
Yep. Correct. Indeed. Also. And don't forget also, the new Dragon Empire will have the deck soon. They will come out after. The Dragon Empire deck the star deck will come out after DB03. So everything is still going to be built for Virena and for Eugene. Maybe some touch-ups for Draconic Overlord, maybe, but I don't think there might be a lot of it. But mainly we'll be focusing on those two builds still also. The Blaze Steel Maidens, we won't know any exact details until I think the autumn TCG strategy meeting presentation that they'll have, and that's gonna be like a very big week also, and that's happening in like 5 weeks time. Yeah, I think it's happening in 5 weeks time. So yeah, lots to look forward to for Vanguard going forward from there. So, and Lyrical Monasterio, I think is a nice change of pace also. It's a nice change of pace, and pretty excited for Lyrical Monasterio to come out. I would never expect to say that of Lyrical Monasterio, especially when the biggest joke is that their greatest supporter has been realized, and it's literally a whale.
Yeah.
So yeah. So, imagine Overdress on GC. Imagine Overdress on Gear Chronicle. So.
Gear Chronicle.
Yeah, imagine Overdress on Gear Chronicle.
Oh, Guardian Circle. I think that's what it means.
Oh, imagine
Overdress on Guardian Circle.
You have to clarify on that, Mateo. So, yes, there was no hype, so show us again the all-art snow for Tomari. Please be sure. Please do not crash the stream, Tomari. I hope Tomari doesn't crash the stream though. So, twice now I've seen them show Tomari and then the stream crashed afterwards. So
yeah, she's too strong.
Again, so she's way too strong. Imagine Overdress on Guardian Circle. Oh, you mean Overdress on Guardian Circle?
It's a bit weird though, because
very weird and hard to say actually. Very weird and hard to say. And I don't think Expector should be a defensive based card. So like I think Overdress should remain as an offensive card. So. I thought the counter cards like DO and PBO support will come once. No, not support. Encounter cards themselves will only come once per year. So you only will see all these old vintage cards like once per year. The next time we possibly would see them would be in March 2022. But I never said anything about support. So like small little touch-ups, like maybe 1 or 2 cards that checks whether if your Vanguard is Phantom is a blaster, or check if your Vanguard is Overlord. So like those things also. They may do like small touch-ups, but there will be normal cards also. There won't be encounter cards. They'll just be like touch-up supports.
Yeah.
So yeah. Megumi will be the ultimate protector, yeah. So oh yeah.
What continues on?
I forgot. I forgot also. I actually went to war with Orange about that.
What? Tomari versus Megumi?
Tomari versus Megumi.
Oh god.
Cause she put down there she put down there about Megumi, then as best waifu, then I just went to joke with her and said, you misspelled Tomari. Then she's like, fight me, cat. I don't understand.
Oh my god.
That's gonna be fun. So I'll probably will probe about that at one point. So.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that sometime the starter decks do not get more triple R's, but only good double R's and R's also. I think the next set of start decks, right, will actually be like the 2022 cycle. I use the word cycle very loosely because I don't think they'll be phasing out cards. It's just a way for cataloging. I trust their word on that. But I think that if they were to up the power creep, right, then it'll be like the set power creep for 2022. So while cards in 2021 might still be relevant, they might not be as up to snuff as cards in 2022 and further along as it goes along. So I think that's the way they want to approach it, and I think that's a good way of doing so, because not only does it encourage people to continue buying the new products, but also makes it so that veteran players, right, can still make use of these older sets, right? And you know, like if there's something worthwhile still in there that they can bring forward, so I think that might be the reward over there. So yeah, I think it's a good way of doing it. So Cap is actually Team Tanji though. So yeah, I'm Team Tanji indeed. So. Busted. Yeah. So till this day, DF cries no robots in P format. So
not yet.
A lot of people also, but just wait. Just hang on. So Obari will make something for Overdress. Obari will draw something for Overdress. I can bet my butt on that. So I hope to see more BDSM for Mario though. We have to wait for news on the anime for that. So we got Blaster Dark and Dragonoid Overlord as encounter cards this year. So maybe we'll get Blaster Blade next year. If not, we'll be waiting for a very long time. Honestly, you'll be waiting for a very long time because Blaster Blade will be part of Captain Sanctuary. I don't think we'll be getting encounter cards for Captain Sanctuary. I believe. I think that encounter cards should be spread across first before they revisit one of the nations. One of the other nations.
Ashura Kaiser for Brangate. Who knows?
Yeah, Ashura Kaiser for Brangate. Ashura Kaiser for Brangate. So we can get. We can get Maelstrom for Stokea.
Either Maelstrom or is that again?
Maelstrom for Stokea.
Tomato.
Tomato. Imagine Magnolia 2022 is a new card. So actually, I can imagine that actually. Magnolia 2022 is a new card. I think Sarah Snow 2022 will be a new card. So on and so forth. I don't think they have the same name. They will be named differently, but I think that we may be seeing like new start decks for all 5 of them, and they're basically like updated versions of the first 5, and they'll be the ones that will set from March 2022 onwards. They'll be the ones that will be setting the power creep going forward for the whole of 2022. So yeah, Irene is very excited about Maelstrom. So Harry for Dark States. So if they go that far,
yeah, who knows?
Who knows indeed. Okay, so me supporting Chat Noah for counter card. For count card. So yeah. Well, Chat Noah, we're still waiting for the release for that card. So yeah. Alright, I think that's all the time that we'll have for this discussion stream. Thank you so much to everybody that has joined us for this. I hope you guys enjoyed the discussion. Thank you, Dempster, for being with me today. We'll always be here every Wednesdays at 8:30 PM, as long as I'm able to stream, of course. And we will be sitting down, we'll talk about the new cards, and maybe we look at some of the recent releases, talk about some old news. You might hear Grinds My Regards portion at some point or another. Like, you can hold out on that actually being a thing sometime soon. But at the very least, we will have this dedicated time as much as possible here on CVGS, and you guys are more than welcome to join us. And hey, let your friends know as well. Like everybody is part of the conversation. As long as you're willing to chat about it, you want to be part of it, we read out your comments. And as long as we're not doing interview of sorts, we will be able to read out all of your comments, and we will make sure to include you guys into the discussion, because this is a discussion stream after all, and you guys are all part of it indeed. So. Alright, so I'm ready for Insert Final Fantasy 7 Set 3. Yeah, the Nut Ringer. So other than that, right, you can also join us on Tuesdays for our Vanguard Tuesdays live stream. So if you want to see the news as it breaks on the Vanguard Tuesdays live stream every time, do be sure to absolutely 100% go over to our Twitch channel. You can find the links in the description box below. You guys can head over to our Twitch channel and give us a follow over there. And then hey, you can also join us for some of our gaming stuff as well, because I myself definitely am a gamer, so you definitely will see me there, like just streaming games, and it'll be another place where you guys can talk to me in a way, although it will be more dedicated towards the game in particular. If you want to talk about Vanguard, that's fine, but especially if it's something as deep that I'm into, like say Great Ace Attorney at this point in time. So like it might be difficult for you to get some sort of Vanguard talk in there. So, but nevertheless, on Twitch we will have that Vanguard talk, especially on Sundays, because we have our Vanguard Zero Sundays. So you can actually talk more about Vanguard in that dedicated time. So that'll be the more easier way to do it on Twitch. Other than that, we also have two more streams happening every week as well, starring Brendan. So Brendan will actually be streaming on Fridays and also on Saturdays, 10 p.m. Fridays one will be for Vanguard. So if you want to talk to Vanguard, there'll be another space for it as well. If you guys want to talk some Battle Spirits as well, because we do Battle Spirits content over here as well, you can also talk to Brendan on Saturdays, and he'll be there, and then you can actually talk some Battle Spirits with him as well. So a lot of good stuff that we have still happening here in CVGS. I apologize for the lack of fight videos coming right now, because this current one that I'm editing is a little bit difficult to get to, and when it's released, you guys will see why it might be a bit difficult. So I hope you guys understand, and I hope you guys will be patient with me. At the same time also, we got a lot more content coming here on the YouTube channel from that. Beyond that, follow us on all our socials. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Discord as well. So if you guys want to see this page that you see on top of here, if you guys want to be a part of our server, do be sure to give us to give all those clicks a link and join our server. Follow us on all of our socials so you can keep up to date with all of our shenanigans that we ever do on that. So, right, with all that said, I think I'm out of breath right now. Anything that you want to add? Debs?
That's all I'm gonna say.
That's all you're gonna say, yeah? Alright, so with all that said, thank you guys again for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!
Bye!